Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Thursday, April the 19th, and this is the market overview. Looking at the Dow SPX, VIX, TNA, UUP, FXE, GLD, SLV, and all those other things. Okay. Well, another red day, another win for the Bears, and it's fairly interesting. Ending with a big spinning top. We did peak below the big green candle. That's nice. We did close below the midpoint of the green candle. That's nice. But we didn't close below the bottom of the big green candle. So that's unfortunate. It also closed right at the lower price consensus level, resting right on top of it. Interesting. We can see the middle Bollinger Band attempting to get its cross. That's not so encouraging. We still have the 14-day RSI moving average pointing down, ticking down. Of course we do. It has plenty of room still. Plenty of room. And we have the fast stochastic looping over. CCI ticking down, RSI ticking down, MACD histogram leveling out, and the MACD itself leveling out. Lots of encouraging signals here. Beyond that, what else is there to see? Well, we were introducing the volume system last night in a special video, and unfortunately part of the right side of the screen was cut off. I apologize. Some of the cooler points were not visible, so I've got to redo that. But hey, I'm going to take a quick look at it tonight since we couldn't see on the other video. And what do we have? We have this little rollover commencing. How many reds do we have? We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, and we have 4 reds. Oof. And certainly this one would have been stopped out multiple times if it had 3s, which it did occasionally. But so 4 at the moment, pretty darn strong, all things considered. The only one holding up the show is the accumulation distribution crossover, which is still extremely high and makes entirely perfect sense because they've been moving it up on zero volume, and this is what happens when that happens. So we're just waiting for another red, which will be an entry signal to go short, and it's very close. So as a test, we're going to see really soon what that's going to do, and just waiting for that to happen. I think it's interesting. Going to the 60-minute time frame, what do we have here? Well, we have something that could be encouraging to bulls, in complete honesty. Low, higher low, potentially higher low, high, higher high, breaking this ceiling over here. So you could assume, just by looking at this, that there should be an attempt to make a higher high. Whether or not it'll succeed is anyone's guess, but certainly that is a possibility. Now, what do the indicators say about that? Well, we have the 14-day RSI moving average curling over and ticking down. It's not good for that thesis. You have the stochastics low attempting to roll over but not succeeding yet. That doesn't really jive yet. Up on the CCI, up on the RSI, yeah, those are favorable for that. Sloping up slightly on the MACD histogram, yeah. MACD hasn't rolled over yet, no. So, mixed picture in the 60-minute time frame. Tomorrow is OPEX. They can do whatever they want. But, yeah, I would not be surprised one bit if they attempted a run at this high here. And I wouldn't even be surprised if they're able to break it. As long as this previous high up here does not fall, everything's okay. And we did close below 13K again today, a big warning sign. A lot of people are afraid of that. We're not that far away from it. I'm not overly concerned about that one way or the other. But anyway, that's what I think. And I was testing the volume system in intraday today. It had lots of, oops, wrong one. Lots of good signals. we can see here just in the last 2 days, and matter of fact happening partially today, 4 reds, and yeah, it went down, and it would have caught it, well actually we had a red back here, so it would have caught it right here. Yeah, that's the whole day's move. It would have caught all of it. So very, very, very nice. Now, are these close to rolling over? Potentially one. No. Oh, actually, you know what? This isn't a red. I screwed that up. This just isn't big enough to show the green. There it is. So, actually, it would have caught it right here, which is still pretty darn perfect, and would have caught really the whole move. So, pretty awesome. Yeah, these could reset within a day. Some of these are already pretty low, 1, 2, 2 for sure. And if those were to flip, you'd have 3 greens. So, could there be the rebound? Yes, there could be a rebound signal tomorrow, potentially. Moving on. I've dallied here too long. SPX. Not as strong as the Dow. Look, even at our lowest, we only were testing the floor made by this big green candle. It did close below the midpoint of it, and it kissed and peeked through the lower price consensus level slightly and backed away from it, ending with a spinning top. We do not have penetration yet by the middle Bollinger Band, and so yeah, this one is stronger than the Dow. Still down on the 14-day RSI moving average. Stochastics very lightly ticking up, down on the CCI, slightly down on the RSI. MACD histogram still ticking up, MACD ticking down. Much more mixed, but stronger. And you'll notice the bar is taking damage, it's starting to compress. It's a good sign for the bears. On the next major attempt, it'll be much easier to break it. Oh, and we were talking about the compression of the Dow bar. Did we get even more compression? It's hard to tell. It's very jumbled in there. So I'll just say no. Be conservative about it. The VIX, very interesting. Look, the VIX is red. We had mentioned in the daily running thread, why is the VIX still in the 18s? At that point it was just above 18.5. It closed 18.36. Not even as good as when we mentioned it. Spinning top. Yes, the bar is taking damage. Not all the short-term moving averages are pointing up. That's not especially great. But it's not the end of the world. 14-day RSI moving average, very high. Even if we were to blow it up by backing out, we've been saying that we are concerned about this for the last few videos. It is still a concern. Stochastics ticking down, CCI ticking down, RSI ticking down, histogram sloping down, MACD ticking down. This is definitely a warning sign. Doesn't mean it can't pop up tomorrow, but this is definitely a warning sign. CompQ, the NASDAQ. Yep, not breaking the green candle. Peaking below it slightly. Closing just below the lower price consensus level. That is good for the bears. Middle Bollinger Band line has not done its cross yet. 14-day RSI moving average still ticking down. Stochastics more mixed. I mean, the fast is going up decently, the slow is not. Down on the CCI, down on the RSI. Sideways on the MACD histogram, down on the MACD. Could we have a rebound here? Certainly, it's pretty darn flat. Slight bearish bias, but really the best thing going for it right at the moment. 14-day RSI moving average, room to move. So that is a good feather to have in the cap, but that VIX, kind of concerning. TNA. Big spinning top, peaking below this flourish area. That is good. Short-term moving average is pointing down. Middle Bollinger Band still above everything. Still below the lower price consensus level. a retest of the 200-day moving average would coincide very nicely with a retest of the floor. 14-day RSI moving average ticking down, stochastics mixed, down on the CCI, sideways on the RSI, up on the MACD histogram, slightly down on the MACD. It has things going for it, has a couple of things against it. So, pretty darn mixed. And is the downside extreme? I wouldn't say so at this moment, personally. Because does it have enough in the tank at the moment to break the floor and really drop? I am not sure about that. XLF, the financials. Yeah, they had a bad day. They didn't even kiss the this new floor that was made, this minor floor. 14-day RSI moving average still ticking down. Of course it is. It has lots of room to move. Stochastics mixed, down and up. Down on the CCI, up on the RSI, up on the MACD histogram, down on the MACD. Very mixed. It is a push-pull at the moment, trying to see who's going to win. And in an attempt to see who's going to win, UUP. Down is good for the markets, up is bad for the markets. Look at that. Red day, lower than yesterday, and yet the markets were down pretty darn good. Doesn't exactly make perfect sense. Actually, doesn't really make sense much at all, except that we are continuing to develop this double flat line. Middle Bollinger Band now right in the middle of the long-term moving averages. I do not like that. Sideways on the RSI, down on the stochastics, down on the CCI, sideways on the RSI, slightly down on the MACD histogram, slightly down on the MACD itself, looking for a bearish cross. And yes, going down is good for the markets, not exactly what we want to see, but even today with it being down, the markets were down. Not the way it's supposed to be, but it is what happened today. There could be a catch-up tomorrow, especially if there's further weakness. But anyways. FXE, the euro. Yep, green. 14-day RSI moving average ticking down slightly. Stochastics up, CCI up, RSI up, histogram up, MACD sideways. Yes, this has some indications that some up movement is more than possible. And yes, that is good for equities. And it was not reflected today in its movement. But have to be aware of that. Closing above, once again, the lower price consensus level. Getting a slight uptick, resolving it intraday. Maybe that will allow it to not move up tomorrow, but still, that's a very weak proposition. So, oh, hey. What does the volume say about this sucker? Well, we have 3 reds, 1 green, I'm sorry, 2 greens, and this green could be flipped pretty soon, so could this green. The other ones have more room, although this one is moving towards its trigger line. So, pretty mixed, but still, check this out. 1, 2, 3. That's a peak, that was a short signal, and it went down. Very nice. If we get some more reds, then there'll be another signal to short, but we just aren't there yet. And very encouraging display of the new system. Moving on to Apple. Yep. Apple. Ugly day. Fat body spinning top, closing below the major price consensus level. Once again, last time we did it, we had a reaction. We're going to have another reaction. We're getting into the long-term moving average bar. You can see what happened the last time that happened. Could there be a reaction tomorrow? Well, their earnings are only a couple days away. Why not? Histogram down, MACD down, RSI down, CCI down, 14-day RSI moving average down, and slow stochastic going sideways, fast stochastic going up. Yeah, it still has all this room to move. Doesn't mean that we can't have things turn around and go up to meet the 14-day RSI moving average. The only thing that matters really at this point, or actually I should say the most important thing, is that it does not exceed this top. So we'll see what kind of frenzy it has going into earnings, but earnings seem to be punishing just about everybody. Oh, yeah, why not? Volume on Apple. Yeah, today was a nasty day. Getting 2 more reds today, bringing the total to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's actually a short signal initiated today, and we'll see what that does. You can see the accumulation distribution curling over, which could become a 5th red very soon. So bears on Apple, yeah, it could be a really good time, and we'll see how that plays out. At this moment, I'm not going to short Apple just because of these, because we are still testing it, but certainly encouraging. GE. Yeah, almost a spinning top, almost a hammer. Stochastics going up, CCI sideways, RSI up, 14-day RSI moving average ticking down, histogram ticking up, and the MACD going sideways. Yes, there's some indications here that a bounce is entirely possible, and 14-day is much lower than, say for instance, the Dow. So since this leads the Dow, would it be possible that this would turn over sooner? Yes. Moving on to Starbucks. Oh, look at that. Bearish engulfing. Got a downtick today. Resolved itself intraday. Down on the 14-day RSI moving average. All this room to move. Stochastics racing to the bottom. Down on the CCI. Down on the RSI. Bearish cross on the MACD. Down on the MACD histogram. Not looking pretty. A retest of the bar right about the 56 area. Pretty much coincide with a major price consensus level, and that would require penetration of the upper price consensus level. But regardless, that is also near the previous floor. Is this move likely? I would say yes. It does have earnings on Tuesday, so it'll be interesting to see if there's any kind of buying. I really want this one to get up to 61 and then get a clear signal to short, but looks like I may not get that. What else is left? GLD. Spinning top. Short-term moving average is pointing down. Middle Bollinger Band in the middle. Closing below the lower price consensus level. 14-day RSI moving average ticking up. Stochastics down. CCI up. RSI up. Histogram down. MACD down. Very, very mixed. I'm just not a fan of gold at the moment. It is too mixed. SLV. Any difference? Tried to put in a spinning top. Got an inverse hammer instead. Up on the 14-day RSI moving average. Up on the stochastics. Up on the CCI. Sideways on the RSI. Up on the MACD histogram. Up on the MACD. It does look better than gold at this moment. Can't say that I'm a really big fan either. It's still in this little range thingy here. Don't like it. And I think that's going to be about it for this evening. Encouraging day, very mixed. Tomorrow's going to be one of those special days. And spinning top indecision. I want to see where it goes from here. That's it. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video are for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you.